Hi, welcome to paper number 3. This is week 4 in Writing 95. This video is going to give you an overview of what an exemplification essay is all about. The first thing that you need to do is to read an article that I have posted. This article is about resiliency, and it's called A Personal Strategy for Engaging and Building Your Resilience. This is from the American Psychological Association. It's from a psychology textbook chapter, and you'll be reading this. This article is in the form, it's organized as an exemplification article. So you would read this article, make sense of it. This part is the thesis statement. It explains what resiliency is. There are 3 supporting key points. The first key point with a paragraph below it is factors regarding resilience. You'll read that. The second key point with a paragraph below it is strategies for building resilience. So you'll read the paragraphs. You will pay particular attention in this section, strategies, to the bulleted items. So all the items with the bullets listed, these are strategies. There are 11 of them. So let me pull up the others. You'll read through these strategies, and then the third key point of resiliency is staying flexible. Staying flexible is the key, and you'll read about that. This article has a conclusion at the end, so it does follow a 5-paragraph exemplification structure. I've also posted as a handout this document, Writing 95 Exemplification Essay Guidelines. So this is essential for you to look at before you begin any other writing. The purpose of the exemplification essay is to write a 2 to 3 page essay making a key idea, assertion, or generalization, followed by examples used to support your assertion. Something that is very important for you to understand this week is the fact that it's tied into the reading. So this particular exemplification essay will be based on the American Psychological Association article, A Personal Strategy for Engaging and Building Your Resilience. And I tell you on here, read the article first. In order to understand what your essay will be about, you really must read that article first. Okay, so how are you going to organize your 2 to 3 page essay? Let's look at organization. The general pattern for an exemplification essay is a 5-paragraph essay pattern. Paragraph 1 is the key statement. Paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 are supporting key detail statements, and paragraph 5 acts as a conclusion or a reflection. For your particular paper tied into the article, this is what it will specifically look like. For your thesis statement, I want you to define resiliency in your own words. This is after you've read the article and they explain it, you put it in your own words. For your body of 3 supporting points, you will look at the article's 11 bulleted items under the heading Strategies for Building Resilience. So I've pulled up the document again to show you. Here's that article, Strategies for Building Resilience. I'm talking about these bulleted items. We looked at it a few minutes ago, and they continue. So you'll look at all of those items, and you will pick 2 that you are currently making progress on in your life. Identify the strategies and develop each as a paragraph supported by specific examples from your life. Then you will pick one strategy that you would like to continue working on. Develop this paragraph by giving specific examples about how this strategy is currently a challenge for you. For your conclusion, give an overall summary of what resilience means in your life. So here it is in outline form. There we go. You'll define resiliency. You'll pick, of those 11 bulleted items, you'll pick one for your first point. You'll pick another one for your second point. And remember, you'll develop these as paragraphs. So one paragraph about this point, give some details. One paragraph about the second point, give some details. One paragraph about a resiliency strategy that is a challenge for me and I would like to keep working on. So let me give you a specific example. To do this essay, I might pick establish and maintain connections. I might look at that bulleted item and I might say, yes, I do that. I have a lot of connections. So I would pick that point and I would give an example paragraph, a paragraph supporting it with details. How do I establish and maintain connections? What are my connections? In this point, it talks about civic groups, faith-based organizations, local groups. So for instance, I volunteer in 4-H. With 4-H kids, with horses. So I might say, yes, I have connections. For instance, I am connected with 4-H, and I have lots of friends, etc. Okay, that's one point. Then I'm going to skim through and I'm looking for, what's another point? What's another strategy that I think I do okay with right now? This one, keep things in perspective and avoid catastrophizing. So with this point, I would say, yes, I think I do okay on that. That is a good strategy for building resiliency for me. As things come up, I do tend to keep them in perspective. I don't immediately jump to the conclusion that it's the end of the world. And then I would develop my paragraph with a couple, one or two specific examples. The time I did what? The time this thing happened, how did I keep it in perspective? So those are two that I do. And then I'm looking on this bulletin list. Remember, I'm just picking 3 myself. You would pick whichever ones match with you. Okay, right here. Taking care of yourself. This one I would probably pick as my third one on the outline. So a strategy that is a challenge to me and I need to, really continue working on. This particular point talks about engaging in activities that you enjoy and find relaxing. You exercise regularly. Yes, that's the part that is a big challenge for me. Just it's all about relaxation, doing fun things, exercising, taking care of your body. I would say that one is difficult to me. It is a challenge. I'm constantly forgetting about this point, and I tend to put that on the bottom of my list. So I would give a specific example about the time, maybe I planned on going for a walk, but my kids had things come up and I had to take care of them. Many of you are parents, so I think probably this is a really common challenge in terms of resiliency strategies. So there I have my 3. I went over this part of the outline. I identified one that was working for me, and I gave specific examples. I identified a second one that was working for me right now, and I gave specific examples. And then I also looked at that list of 11 strategies, and I found one that really is a challenge for me. That was the spend time for yourself, take care of yourself. And I identified that, and I would develop it with examples. For the conclusion, I'd give an overall summary of what resiliency means in my life. And then just as a tip, this particular outline that we just went over, you'll be doing the same exact outline in the Connect paper number 3 pre-write assignment. So this is, what your pre-write will look like. You'll put together an outline. I do want to remind you, when you go into Connect, the pre-write is an outline. You're not writing long paragraphs. You're listing your points, maybe giving a few phrases of examples, but you are not writing the whole paper out on the outline, the pre-write. Okay. I give you on the handout some guidelines. Use specific examples. I have a point about transition words when you go from one paragraph to the next, or when you're using multiple examples in one paragraph, you might want to use some transition words. This doesn't mean you have to use exactly these, but this is just once again a reminder that you should be thinking about transition words or phrases. I give you a grammar tip. Watch out for punctuation with conjunctive adverbs. So I want you to go over those two sentences and take a look, see the difference. You also will have, once you read that article, you will have a quiz on it on Moodle, so you'll need to do that. You'll need to do pre-write. And this week, you'll be doing rough draft and rough draft only. Next week, we will be doing peer editing. So instead of only your teacher going over your work and highlighting your rough draft and making suggestions for improvement, I will have you guys work in partners. I will be assigning papers to different students, and you'll be making suggestions. Really, I will have you look at organization, structure. I'll have you look for 3 specific points, and you'll do it in a positive, constructive way, so it's not something I want you to stress about. So it will work out well. But that's different this week. You're only doing pre-write and rough draft. So then you'll have some grammar exercises on run-ons and fragments. And there's your week. I also have posted a handout, a resource handout, giving you some tips and ideas if you need help with your paper. What are some options? I have 2 online options. One is to attend the weekly online office hour. I do that on Thursdays from 12 to 1. I'll be posting a link this week as a reminder. So I do encourage you to make use of the online office hour. It's all about you. You can ask individual questions. You can request an individual online conference. You have to follow the guidelines, request it 24 hours in advance. Make sure you do it between 10:30 and 4 o'clock during the day. And then the last suggestion is, if you happen to be on campus at LCC or in the vicinity, especially if you have other classes, go to the Tutor Center. The Tutor Center is free. It's available on a drop-in basis. I give you the location and the hours. So you really do need to make use of help either online or on campus. So good luck, and I'm looking forward to reading your essays.